bird, I smell good, bish. And if you want to smell good like me, you'll click down below in the description box and get 15% off of your first month subscription service to Scentbird, which is a monthly subscription service that sends you perfumes, candles, hand lotions, and makeup. So you guys get down below, check out their website, and sign up. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue, and I am back for another The Bondy Blue Show, where we talk about celebrity topics and sometimes politics, but because they be trying to censor my greatness, we gonna keep it cute this episode, because ain't nobody got time for that. But we gonna start off with Aretha Franklin's funeral. You guys, if you haven't caught my Greenleaf review or my Braxton Family Values review, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you to go over and check those out, okay? Come back over here, but go check those out, all right? Now look, yesterday was my uncle's funeral, so I was at his funeral from a little after 9 up until noon, okay? Come home around 1 something and basically watch the Aretha Franklin funeral for the remainder of the day, okay? Now I had to shut it down because I was watching it on HLN. I didn't see it on any other network after 3 o'clock. So I didn't know what stations it was on, but HLN tried to stay on it, but they had to get off of it eventually, and then I just was watching it on my phone because CNN was streaming it. But I stopped right after Stevie finished doing his little tribute to her. He sang do 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 do. There's around the earth and earth though she's revolving. And the earth buds only bloom in early May. I only know that song like this much, okay? But that's what he sang for his tribute, okay? That's around the time where I cut it off. But I was there long enough to see some of the main things that went down, okay? The first thing that I did catch was Ariana Grande singing Natural Woman. Okay, now we all know Ariana Grande is a beautiful vocalist and she has great technique. So I was not at all worried about her vocals. I, however, was worried about what she was wearing. Okay, now look, there's been some controversy because Bishop Charles Ellis III, who officiated over the services and was our overall MC for the 9-hour broadcast of the funeral, okay? He put his hand around her and was cupping her around right here, all right? Now let me tell y'all something, all right? She is a very small person, and I saw that, and I honestly don't think that he was trying to be a nasty old man up there with all of them cameras watching, okay? Now he corrected himself because he made a joke during this time after she performed, and he said, you know, my daughter had to tell me who you was, baby, because I looked at the program and I was like, what is a Taco Bell item doing on the program? That's what he thought when he heard Ariana Grande. Now look, let me tell you something. If anybody Hispanic wants to get mad at this, I don't know why, okay? It's not racial at all. Grande is what they call half of the shit over there at Taco Bell, and nobody else besides Ariana's last name, as far as we know in the music business and celebrities' last name has been Grande. You can tell me if I'm wrong, okay, but I haven't heard anybody with the last name Grande. I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you that right now. We done heard some Rodriguez, some Lopez. We done heard all kind of other Latino last names, okay? But we ain't never heard the Grandes before Ariana. So I don't think this was racial at all. But at the funeral, at the cemetery where they were burying her after the 9 hours, he apologized on camera because he said he didn't realize the comment would come off that way to anybody. It was 9 hours. He was just trying to keep people entertained. And he definitely wasn't trying to touch up on her when he would, went to hug her. And I saw it, y'all. And even though I think she was uncomfortable, I do not think he was like, it wasn't like this, you know what I'm saying? It was like right on the side, and she's so small, and his hand was there from when he hugged her. He hugged her, and then, he was like, I just wanted to tell you, he kept his hand around her, but that's just where his arm was from when he hugged her. I watched the whole little thing, and I honestly don't feel like it was that bad, but a lot of people felt felt like it was bad. And then they wanted to get on how, oh, she, how she was dressed doesn't matter. He shouldn't have done that. And I want to say that how she was dressed is of no consequence to what happened with the pastor, if you ask me. I don't think neither one of those things have anything to do with one another. We were all on Twitter talking about Ariana's dress before that even happened, okay? During her performance, I was like, what the hell is she wearing to the funeral, okay? It looked too short to be worn on stage at that funeral. I'm sorry, but it was. Everybody else was appropriately dressed for the situation, meaning they had shoulders covered and knees covered, and that young lady did not. Now, nobody told her, I guess she didn't grow up in the church. Maybe she didn't know that she wasn't just supposed to wear black, but she was also supposed to dress more appropriately for where she was. Let me tell y'all something. Everybody talking about, oh, they say in the church, come as you are. Say, bruh, I'm here for all of that, but I also believe that women should have a certain level of modesty. Y'all, I had a dress on at my Powerade funeral that I wish I wouldn't have worn. I didn't know it was going to be like that, okay? It seemed reasonable when I was wearing it, but as I was walking, it kept riding up on me. I was so embarrassed, okay? I said, Mom, all right? I didn't want to be like that in church, and I didn't care, if some old man was looking at me. I personally felt uncomfortable. So I feel like we always like to mix the two. Y'all always like to make it seem like somebody's saying, oh, because she was dressed like that, that means she should have got that attention. That is not true at all. I honestly don't think that's what he meant to do. And the only person who was really paying attention to how short her dress was the men that was sitting behind her. Bill Clinton, we saw you. Another thing, Bill Clinton is not black, okay? Back in the 90s, he was the most for us that we'd had a president ever, okay? He was the most for us that we'd ever had in a president besides, help me. Somebody help me. Mr. President Kennedy, okay? Besides John F. Kennedy, and he was only president for 5 minutes before they killed him. And that's because he was so good for us. So yeah, when Clinton was president, we did see him in some way as somebody that was more geared to us than we had seen in previous years. So stop being mad at black folks for calling him their first black president and all of that. Obviously, that is not real. And President Obama is our first black president. I think everybody's aware of that. I just seen people on Twitter, y'all, with the black Bill Clinton and all the people he sent to jail. Yes. All presidents do terrible things while they're in office. Do you know why? Because their pen strokes will basically determine life or death for a lot of people. And everybody can't always make the right decisions. And everybody that got something to say has never been a president. So, yeah. Okay? Yes. That 90s era drug shit that was going on was terrible. And we should definitely look at that as a negative remark in his presidency. But that doesn't negate that, he did do good things for us during that time. I don't care what y'all talking about. In the early 90s, life in New Orleans was great. Okay, my people had money. All right, I don't know what y'all talking about, but we was all right down here. Okay. I'm going to just go ahead and say it. Bush era, everything got fucked up. But I'm still not mad at Bush. Poor thing. All right, but look, I just wanted to speak on that because that was a few things. Let's get to Jasper Williams, okay? Jasper Williams was handpicked to do her eulogy. By the time we done got to the eulogy, y'all done brought so many people who ain't been to church in a long time back to the church, and that's when Jasper Williams got his ass up there and did an antebellum slavery eulogy for Aretha Franklin that ain't have nothing to do with her, okay? He spoke on some things that I did agree with, and if you watch my Greenleaf review, you heard me talk about that. I talked about how I feel like the church is right that we've veered way too far away from the family unit. And because we don't want people to feel bad about the fucked up decisions they've made, we want to just say, oh, we shouldn't make people feel bad. No, you shouldn't make people feel bad because life will make them feel bad, okay? We don't need no extra shit from no peanut gallery when it pertains to people's lives because life will show you the type of decisions you've made. You don't need anybody else to tell you if it's right or wrong, okay? But I feel like he was starting on something good. Like there was some things he was saying, I was like, you know what, you're right, Pastor, you're right. But then when we start to get into, the patriarchy of it all and men, a woman can't raise a man. A woman can definitely raise a man, but a woman cannot be an example of a man for a young boy to become a man. Those are two different things because I think my husband's mother did a fantastic job with him. But at the same time, he was missing something by not having like the everyday daddy thing, okay? You know, like the in the home thing that he's talking about during this eulogy. So that's why there's one point that I agree with, and I was like, oh, all right. Okay, all right, hold up now, hold up. Well, goddamn, we didn't go on too far. Goddamn, somebody get it, I'm changing the channel. That's how it went during that eulogy. The eulogy was way too damn long, and he was talking about women raising kids alone and not having a man in the house, and I'm sitting up there like Aretha raised all of them boys without a man in the house. So I think it's very ironic that you're speaking to something that goes against what Aretha her life was. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't understand that. His eulogy was not about Aretha. His eulogy was a grandstand. His eulogy was an opportunity to use all of the people who were watching so that they could hear him tote his rhetoric. Okay? Like, I really feel like that. He feel like the world is gone asunder, and he ain't exactly wrong about that. He's not wrong. The world has gone down the shitter somewhat. Like, look around, okay? And it's because certain things aren't valued anymore. And I think there has to be a line somewhere in the middle where we can have God in our lives, we can have community in our lives, we can have the family in our lives, and we can also be open and understanding to people that are gay, that are transgendered. We can be open to people that make mistakes and don't always have a man in the house. But I do think it's important that there be a two-parent home, whether that's two women and two men, or two, one or the other, whichever. However, I said it in the other video that I was with him on that, and then he took it far left, and I couldn't go with him. Okay, so Jasper gave us an old nasty eulogy that we didn't ask for and that some of us didn't necessarily need. All right, he was a sore spot for the whole thing. We were enjoying it, and Stevie Wonder had to come up behind him and tell him how love is what's the most important thing. Okay, Stevie had to tell him, and I'm like, thank you, Stevie. Thank you for the harmonica. Thank you for the old school song, and also thank you for cleaning that shit up. All right, right after he got off, I believe that's when Gladys Knight had came on and sang, and y'all, Gladys got me all in my feelings. All right, during her first performance or her first speech, because I missed that part, I heard she said that she and Aretha had the same disease, and then people were reporting that she had pancreatic cancer. And I think what she meant, when she said we have the same disease is we both like the men's a little bit too much. Y'all know Aretha had an issue with the men's. And I think that, I think she might have been like a sex addict or something like that. And I think maybe that Gladys Knight was talking about another type of disease that we ain't know nothing about. All right. Moving along, Fantasia and Jennifer Hudson did exactly what we wanted them to do. Yolanda Adams and Bishop Paul Morton did exactly what we expected them to do. And I had hung up the phone by the time we got to Jennifer Holiday, but I'm more than sure her and her vocals showed out for us. Ronald Isley came out there and did a very sweet version of what was it? His Eyes on the Sparrow. I can't remember which song he sang. It was His Eyes on a Sparrow. He sung His Eyes on a Sparrow, and it was so sweet and so soft, but he was struggling through it because he was trying not to cry. And I remember when he first got up there, he was trying to talk, but his emotions were getting to him, and people were like, what is he doing? And I'm like, you could just tell when he said, I wish I had brought my brothers up here with me, it's because he needed the support. Him and Aretha were close. So, he fought through his performance, but it was still very beautiful. Shaka Khan performed Going Up to Yonder and didn't know all the lyrics because she had to have it on her fan. And everybody saw when she flipped the fan out, we're going up to yonder, going up to yonder. Okay, to be with my Lord, all right? She had the notes on a fan, and I'm not mad at it. Girl, you got to do what you got to do. Michael Eric Dyson, okay? Michael Eric Dyson was pure life, all right? And I just want to say that a lot of people were mad at them politicizing her funeral, but what they were trying to get y'all to understand is this was the person that she was. And even though you might not have seen this side of her, it was a very important and influential part of her life that she wanted to share, and I'm sure that everybody else wanted to know and wanted people to know that Aretha Franklin was for her people, okay? In a real way, in a way that she got Angela Davis out of jail, in a way that she worked with Dr. King and sang at his funeral. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Can you imagine being in a room when Aretha Franklin is singing at the funeral of Martin Luther King in the 60s? let me tell y'all something right now. I don't even want to go into that part because I feel like I'll start crying, and I've never seen it, never heard of it, but I can just tell that the pain in that room was palpable, okay? But like I said, Michael Eric Dyson went political and called Trump out. And so did Bishop Al Sharpton. Everybody was taking their little jigs at Trump. And I think it's because Trump took a jig at her talking about, yeah, she worked for me. And Michael Eric Dyson said, you lugubrious leech. Okay, you lugubrious, that's what we got. Lugubrious leech. You dopey doppelganger of deceit. She ain't worked for you. She worked above you and she worked beyond you, but she ain't worked for you. And I was just like, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Y'all, they tore it down for this funeral. And y'all look, at first when Jennifer Hudson got on there, I was like, does she know the lyrics to Amazing Grace? Because she hummed for the whole little first verse. I was like, what is going on? And then eventually she got into it. She was trying to warm us up. And I was like, that was way too much warming up. Okay. What else, y'all? Jesse Jackson said a word when he said that y'all need to get out and vote, okay? Because you need to be a part of the process if you think that you're going to change anything. And y'all, I agree with that. I've always said that it's very important to be a part of the political process if you're going to live here in America. It is what it is. You can talk all of the shit you want to, but unless you voting out there, okay, and voting in droves, I don't want to hear nothing up out your mouth. Everybody talking about, oh, voting don't matter. That's bullshit. We know it does, okay? Because look what happened when nobody shows up, all right? Anyway, he also said if you don't feel something, something is wrong with you. That is the realest statement of them all, because there are a whole lot of people, a whole lot of black people that are walking around being okay with not giving a fuck about anything. I don't give a fuck. I got 0 fucks to give. And I say that as it pertains to certain things, but I know for a fact I care. Sometimes I care too damn much, and I gotta say I don't give a fuck just so I can tell myself, hey, stop giving a fuck. You know what I mean? But you have to feel something. You have to feel something. And if you're not feeling something, you need to check in, because something ain't right, okay? I was all here for Jesse too. Y'all, it was a beautiful funeral. It was a beautiful funeral. And even though it had some moments that, you know, we wish wouldn't have happened, the Pink Cadillacs and the Clark sisters and Shirley Caesar and Jennifer Hudson and Fantasia and Jesse and Grande and Shaka and Michael Eric Dyson and everybody else that spoke and performed uplifted everybody watching and everybody in that church. And I sure hope they was passing out plates to folks in that funeral. I'm so mad that went on for that long and y'all wouldn't let them people eat in that church. Somebody should have been walking down the aisle with plates for people. Like, everybody should pass the plate down, yes, yes. You know, say something. 9 hours. Y'all out y'all mind. Y'all should see how many times Jesse kept getting up. That was too funny. Anyway, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed the Aretha funeral. It was a beautiful homegoing ceremony, and I'm glad that I was able to catch it and watch it because I thoroughly enjoyed it. All right, y'all, let's get to Jamila Jamil. All right, now y'all might not be familiar with Jamila Jamil. Jamila Jamil plays on The Good Place with Ted Danson and Veronica Mars. And that's because I can't remember Veronica Mars' real name right now. So that's what we just gonna say. All right, it's a real good show. I watch it. It's about people that go to heaven, but they actually go to hell, but they tricked into thinking that they're in heaven. It's hilarious. Anyway, good show. And she's one of the actresses on that show. And she did an interview and she called out the Kardashians for being double agents for the patriarchy, y'all. I thought this was a word. I thought her entire interview was a word. And I'm going to tell you why it was a word. She said that they are, whether they know or not, they are selling us an ideal, a problem with wrinkles, aging, a problem with gravity, a problem with any type of body fat. She said you are pouring into the world the hate that has been poured into you, okay? And y'all, that was a real statement, because I know some of y'all love these Kardashian girls. I don't. I don't love anybody that's famous for having no talent at all. And your only claim to fame is your beauty, but your beauty is manufactured. And the manufacturing of that beauty has instilled in all of the young ladies who are susceptible to her and to their family that they need to do something with their faces and their bodies. Something has to be fixed. You can't have any stomach fat, but have an old big old grandma ass. That's what we mean by this body ideal that she puts out there into the world. And I know a lot of y'all may not agree with this, but Black women was shaped how we was shaped for years, and it wasn't deemed attractive until somebody like Jennifer Lopez and Kim Kardashian had a big ass, and now all of a sudden it's in style, and everybody wants to be injecting their asses and sucking fat out their stomachs and getting smaller noses and bigger lips, and everybody wants to look like her, and it is body and facial dysmorphia for you to look into the mirror and say, I don't want to look like myself, I want to look like another person. Their depiction do not add anything of value to this world, okay? Women can be sexy and be who they are all on their own. We don't need strippers who used to date rappers and girls who used to dress other celebrities who we don't care about, sleeping with subpar stars and shit like that. I'm just saying, nobody needs women who don't have talent, who don't have any real integrity, infecting the young girls of this world that are so moldable at young ages. Okay, like I don't care what anybody says. My mama instilled in me to be proud of my body type, my face, and what I look like. And by the time them girls came along, I was already grown, okay? But to see this steady climb of girls and women out in the world feeling like they need to fit some idealistic look that Kim Kardashian has is just it's so bullshit to me. It's so bullshit. She doesn't even look like that. She doesn't even look like that. Yet all of these young girls, I want to look like Kim Kardashian. I want my face. I want my body. To look like somebody who doesn't even look like their original self. That is sad, that is depraved, and there's something in that is what this woman said with Jamila, I'm getting her name wrong. Jamila Jamil said is that you are pouring hate into women and you are selling them these popsicles and all type of stuff to get rid of belly fat, and it's not going to the girls who really need it. It's going to all of these little girls who don't really have body, issues. They're not really fat, but they look in the mirror and see something is wrong with them because they don't look like this one or they don't look like that one. And even though it's something that's gone on for so long, never before has there been influencers who affect the masses in such a way that they all want to look like one person. Like, I'm sorry, y'all. I think it's crazy. I think that the things that woman said in that interview was so on point and such a word. And that's the women you need in the world. The women who are strong enough, intelligent enough, and have the forthright to say what needs to be said, to criticize when criticism is needed. Okay? Because we will never be better as a society. We will never be better as a people. We will never be better as women if we don't actually pay attention to what's happening and say when we see something wrong with that. Now, in real life around me in New Orleans, ain't no women out here doing all of that stuff to themselves to look like these girls. But you be on Instagram and social media and you would think that, all right? But I just wanted to say it because it was a word. Definitely. All right. So let's get into the next topic, which was Gloria Govan, y'all. I thought I had heard the last of her with her fuck shit with Matt Barnes and Derek Fisher and their children and all of this. But girl, last night she was arrested. Okay, yesterday on Friday. She was arrested for felony child endangerment after a dangerous fight with her ex-husband, Matt. Now, this was supposed to be Matt's long weekend that he was supposed to have with the kids. For some reason, she shows up to pick them up from school. He gets there. He says, this is my week, and tells the kids to get out of her car and get into his car. They get in his car, they drive away, and she follows behind him screaming and cursing and then blocks his car, almost creating an accident, I'm sure, and then somebody called the police, all right? When the police were called, and they saw the situation, they let Matt take the kids home because he had the documents to prove that it was his weekend. And she was endangering the life of her children by acting like a goddamn fool on the roads. Anything could have happened, and you could have had them children hurt in that car, all because you so mad and evil that Matt then moved on like Maya. Okay, you moved on with one of his ball player friends. If they were really friends at some point, but they played on the same team for years. Okay. She got into an accident. sucking Derek Fisher's dick in Matt's car, okay, and then wrecked the shit. All right? On top of the fact that she be taking money from him and all kind of stuff. All I know is, Gloria Govan, you need to get your life. Because it sounds like to me that you on the verge of getting them kids taken away from you. And I didn't know that Matt was such a stand-up guy because he always looked like something was wrong with him when he was on Basketball Wives. And I ain't never liked her. So I was just like, I don't like her. If something looked wrong with him, they look like they doing drugs together. And now there's something that make me think that Gloria Govan must be doing something that got her ass acting crazy like this. Because you acting like a bitch on coke. You acting like a bitch that's popping pills, that's doing something she ain't supposed to be doing. Because that was some irrational shit that she did. All right? Thank God that the kids weren't hurt. But she was arrested and released this morning at 6 a.m. on a $100,000 bail or bond. Girl, child, I cannot deal. Y'all, let's get to Cardi B. So, from what I'm hearing, Cardi B and her crew beat up 2 bartenders in a strip club the other night. I don't know what night this was, but the strip club was Angel Strip Club in Queens. She had a performance. After that, they went to the club, and apparently she had been threatening this girl, Jade, and her sister, Baddie Girl. They both work as bartenders at this club. She goes down to the club after months, I guess, while she was pregnant, of threatening this girl, because apparently this girl might have had a relationship with Offset. And the girl said she didn't have a relationship with Offset. Offset said the girl didn't have a relationship with him. But for some reason, Cardi felt so strongly about this shit that when she went to the club, 5 of her homegirls, or homeboys, I'm hoping it was homegirls, beat up Jade and her sister, Baddie G. Also, she said that Cardi B threw a bottle at her at some point, all right? Now, they received some real injuries that needed hospital care, so they're going to press charges. That's their plan. Their plan is to press charges and file a police report naming Cardi B, because even though she didn't lay hands on either of the girls, she said, and I quote, "I'm blood, I'll fuck you bitches up." And this is what I'm talking about when I say that you stars out here that want to claim, y'all want to claim gangs and shit, even though I don't feel like you really have to do anything that people in gangs do, except for y'all affiliated with them. Y'all go around with people who are in those gangs, and you get those people to jump girls because you think they might be sleeping with your philandering fucking husband, who you knew was a philanderer before you married him, before you had a baby with him. And also, bitch, you have been a proud side bitch in the past yourself, okay? If y'all remember on Love and Hip Hop, and I watched Lovely T video, and that's why I remember this, because so much has happened with Cardi B, you wouldn't even think about this. You would just think that you're so disappointed that she's still up to hood rat antics when she's been put on this level as she has. She's been put on a pedestal now that she's been making music. But you out here doing ignorant shit. You are a mother and a wife, and instead of being at home with your baby after your performance, you going to a strip club to fight some bitches. Girl, you cannot fight all of the bitches that want to fuck Offset, and you can't fight all of the bitches that Offset wants to fuck, okay? Now, here's my thing. You can't sit up here and preach about how it's okay to be a hoe. It's okay to sleep with other people's man. And then when it happened to you, you won't be out here mad trying to fight bitches, okay? Take the L, charge it to the game, and tell your nigga to stay in line, okay? That's what you should have done. But you might be fucking up your money because they called upon Joe Tacopina, Tacopina, is that how you say his name? I don't know, but apparently he's an uber famous lawyer, and he's considering filing charges for both ladies against Cardi B, and Cardi B would be named in that. And this is what we talking about. You supposed to be, smart. You got money now. You rich. And these girls could possibly take some of that from you. And also, this could mess up your career. What if people don't want to work with you now because they see you out here acting like a hood rat, even though you're toting around millions of dollars worth of jewelry and clothes and cars and bags and shit? What is the point of taking the hood bitch out the hood if the hood bitch won't stay out the hood? This is some bullshit, Cardi B, all right? We all out here rooting for you, and you acting the ass, okay? Now, they say she didn't lay no hands, but you can't tell me that she didn't orchestrate this stupid shit, okay? You and your sister need to go sit the fuck down somewhere, take some karate classes, go run around the block, but get your anger out in another way, because fighting 2 bartenders in a strip club, bitch, you really need to elevate. You need to elevate, because that's some gutter snipe shit if I ever heard it. Gonna leave a performance with your husband and your baby at home so that you could come out here and fight two bitches that nobody ever heard of. That don't make no damn sense, y'all. All right, so Tyga went, well, he didn't go on Queen Radio, but Nicki Minaj called him over the phone so that they can have a conversation, and she asked him about how he feels about Kylie. And he happy, he didn't move on like Maya, he want her to be happy, but he good on her. The main thing that everybody is talking about is that he said he influenced her style and the change that happened when she from 17 until now. And we know that. We know that all the Kardashian women latch on to famous black men so that they can infiltrate the culture, all right? So that they can use the culture to make them more money. Because apparently you can't really get on if black people ain't behind you. That's what they say. I'm like, well, damn, I'm glad somebody know now. I'm glad y'all know. Shit, all right? Because you know we be watching MTV and VMAs like black people don't know these people. Who are they? We don't know them. Who are they? Okay? If you ain't being played on all platforms, I don't know you, all right? I'm just saying. That's not true. I'm just saying, you know, whatever. But I did like that they pointed that out. Some people were saying Tyga was being bitter or a hater. I don't think he was being bitter or a hater at all. I think he doesn't talk about her a lot. He doesn't say much about her, but you can definitely say that she jumped on his coattails and he helped her with her style and helped her to translate over to black folks so that she could become more famous. She was already famous, and he even said she was already going to be who she was going to be. But y'all know, if it wasn't for all of the surgeries, if it wasn't for her having a black boyfriend, she would not be in our purview. The whole time they was growing up, we was looking at her and the other one as the other ones, okay? The two young ones. Everything was all about Courtney, Kim, and Chloe. That's who it was about. She didn't really become somebody we was paying attention to really until she started getting all of that surgery, and she was fucking with Tyga around that time. And we was mad because it seemed as if her 17-year-old ass stole Tyga from Black China, and Black China was friends with Kim Kardashian, and we thought that was all fucked up. But that was the only reason that she's probably is lit, okay, or people are paying attention to her like they are, is because of what happened at that time. And I don't care what nobody else say about it. Them girls ain't got no talent, they ain't got no personalities, but here they are, famous as fuck for no damn reason, and we keep talking about them. Here we are. All right, appropriating black culture, and we patting them on the back. And did y'all see yesterday when Gossip and all of them was posting that Kim Kardashian had new braids? How do y'all like her look? Bitch, it's about Aretha Franklin today. You and your appropriation of our culture can wait till tomorrow, ho. Okay, I'm sorry, but that's how I felt about it, okay? Anyway, Nicki Minaj firing her glam squad, which includes the illustrious Kim Kimble. Okay, now let me tell y'all something. Nicki Minaj saw what she looked like every time she walked out on stage. And she didn't seem to have a problem with the look before she walked out there, okay? Now, if you ask me, her hair was the least of her problems. It was the clothes she was wearing. It wasn't her makeup and her ponytails. Everybody was like, the ponytails was thin. I'm like, I mean, what they supposed to be? Like, they're supposed to be two thick-ass ponytails? Like, the ponytails was not even the issue. I wasn't even paying attention to the ponytails. I was paying attention to the terrible ass outfit she had on. So if she wanted to fire anybody, she should have fired the people that told her she looked good before she walked out that fucking room, okay? That's what I think, okay? Now, she didn't went and got with somebody who was on Instagram, because a lot of y'all like to get y'all hair done by unlicensed people who are on Instagram. And I'm not saying that you don't have talent, but if you're taking this business seriously, then you should definitely have a license, okay? I don't know, you know, the other guy who she got to do that rainbow colored wig, but the hairline looked way better than anything she'd been wearing before. And I don't know if Kim Kimble was responsible for those past terrible hairlines, but we just gonna go ahead and say that, Kim, you didn't do your best work on some of them looks, and that's all right, but you still Kim Kimble, and I still don't know the man's name who made her wig lay better, okay? I don't know who that was, but congratulations to him for the opportunity. He seemed very happy and humbled by it. We happy for him, but what I'm mad at is the way she handled it, the way Nicki always handles things. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be mad at Kim Kimble after you done already said, oh, I like the look, and walked out the fucking door. Just because people on Instagram and Twitter was telling you that shit looked a mess. And that's what I see about Nicki Minaj that bothers me. That she allows things like that to crack her surface and shows how insecure she is. And I really wish that she would get up on that. Girl, go get some therapy and work that the fuck out. Because you allowing everybody to get in your head like that the way you do is not good. You are on a level of which you should definitely not be running your own social media so that you don't have to see some of these comments that some of these dumbass people be saying. I might be considered one of them dumbass people. I don't give a fuck because I don't at you. I'm not the type of person that at people. I don't do that. If I got something to say, that's what I got to say. I'm going to say it on my platform. I'm not at nobody. If everybody else choose to at you after the fact, oh fucking well, I said what I said. But bitch, the outfit and your ass being out was the issue for me, not the ponytail. Shout out to Kim Kimball for always trying to be classy. She put out a little video on Twitter yesterday saying that she's an eagle and eagles fly above and they don't let nobody tell them that they not an eagle. The Lord says she great and she gonna be great. Kim will go ahead and be great, girl. All right, y'all. City girls. Now, y'all, I'm not from Miami, so I didn't really know who the city girls were, but I did a little research on them, and they good. The one video that I did see was them redoing I'll Take Your Man, and I thought it was fire. I thought the video was fire and everything. But apparently, one of the young girls is in jail. The other one, Young Miami 305, that's her Instagram handle. She tweeted in 2013 that if her son was gay, that she would beat the hell out of him. And so people were digging up her old tweet. She even made some terrible comments about dark-skinned women and about, also, what else did she make comments about? About Haitians. And I'm just like, see, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not about to sit up here and talk about another group of black people the way white people talked about us. Y'all sound fucking stupid with that shit, okay? And I'm not going, I'm not going through all of that with y'all. I'm just going to say that the other girl who is a part of their duo is dark-skinned. So I don't know why she has so many negative comments about dark-skinned women. As it pertains to her saying she was going to beat her son, there are so many other ignorant bitches out in the world, some that are in my family, that for some reason have such strong feelings about their sons being gay. And this is what we have to now understand, that you have to get out of that frame of mind of putting that venom into your children. Because when you are constantly trying to remind them, don't look gay, don't be gay, they're a fucking child. Let them be a child, okay? Let them be a child. And don't instill in them homophobic comments that they take to school and bully other kids, and then those kids, like that 9-year-old, go home and kill themselves because people are bullying them because they know who they are at 9. It is very much a real thing to know that you like the same sex at a young age. So anybody that think that's not a real thing, you don't know what the fuck you talking about, okay? I can tell you from personal experience that you don't know what the fuck you talking about. You could definitely know at 9 that you gay. Okay, you can definitely know at 9 that you gay. And I also want to say that beating your son will do absolutely nothing to keep him from being gay. If anything, it will create trauma in his life, and it will have a negative effect on y'all's relationship, but it will not change the fact that he likes men. And this is something that I've had to talk about with my husband because I wanted us to be clear about this in case we had to deal with something like that. And even though I would prefer, and I'm saying I would prefer for my son to like women, and that's because I like women and my husband likes women, so you would be the only one in the house that didn't like women. Okay? And I would feel some type of way about that. What type of son have I raised that is not in all of the beauty of women? Okay? That's how I look at it, all right? But at the same time, if my son was gay, and I thought about this, it's not about how I feel. I feel like, baby, be who you want to be, love who you want to love, protect yourself, and be a good example of a person at the end of the day. That's the only thing I can ask. But I feel the fear that parents feel when they know other people are going to react to their children in a certain way. And that's what my mom said to me when we had our conversation. It was more so about the pain of how other people are going to feel. And then somewhere tied up in that is a parent feeling like they're at fault in some type of way. And that's just because we've been trained to feel like that. It's not because everybody is homophobic. It is because we've been trained to feel and think that way. And we have to break out of those negative stereotypes of black people. We have to break out of those ignorant cycles in which we make our children feel less than or feel that something is wrong with them because they are gay, when we all know that that is not the truth. If you don't know that, then something is wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with somebody because they're gay at all. So get the fuck over it. Get over it. If you ain't got to share a bed with them, then you should not care. It's not your business, okay? But like I said, it is something that we have to get ourselves out of. But I've had conversations with people and friends of mine about this type of shit because they always want to say that they're not homophobic, but that they don't want their kids to be gay. And it's like, bitch, you sound homophobic. And whether you feel hate in your heart towards gay people or not, you are instilling in your child that there's something wrong and something that they can go to school and make fun of the little gay kid about because their mama said this about a faggot, this about a faggot, that. I don't like that shit. I don't like that at all. And that girl used that word a lot. So I think that she is homophobic. She has colorism issues and she needs to go through some fucking therapy because she sounds ignorant as fuck. That's how I felt about it. Okay? Now we done talked about all of that. That's how I feel about it. And that's it, y'all. This is gonna be a long video. I want to send a shout out to Jamel Hill for her $6 million buyout, okay, from ESPN. Okay, shout out to Colin Kaepernick for winning the summary judgment phase of his collusion case against the NFL, which means they, the arbitrator, Stephen Burbank, refused to dismiss it. So that means it's actually going to have toward a hearing and he can be heard. And the NFL couldn't prove that they weren't all coming together to make sure that he couldn't get back in the NFL. Fucked up ass people. Also, I want to send a special shout out to Serena Williams for saying fuck y'all, okay? The French Open gonna tell her that they need to make a rule. Well, they didn't say that to her, but they said they need a rule about bodysuits. And this rule only came after she performed in a black bodysuit that was supposed to promote circulation because she's had blood clots since having her baby. And they want to say now that this thick-ass, fine, beautiful black woman with her muscular, strong build, which what else is she supposed to have? She's an athlete, okay? That's somehow inappropriate. They've gone too far. But when them skinny, no titty, no ass having, no hip having, little boy built white women get up there in their cat suits, it's all good. Fuck the French Open. Serena Williams will forever and always be a superhero hoe, and it don't matter what y'all try to come at her with. She will always be great. She will always be another black person that came and took over one of y'all fucking sports. So deal with it, hoe. Anyway, that's it. That's all. I love y'all. I hope y'all have a good weekend, and I will see y'all on Sunday for Iyanla and the rest of the videos that come out on Sundays. I love y'all. Have a good one. Oh.